Hey guys, GhazzyTV here with another Path of Exile video, and in this one I'm going to showcase the high budget or extreme high budget dominating blow Necromancer. It's a pretty cool build. It's a really cool build. The idea of this is a clearing build. The most fun part of this build is literally when you get a big ass soul eater as your sentinel, because the way the build works is that when you're hitting, there's a % chance that you're going to summon a sentinel when you're hitting a unique enemy or rare. And then when you do a killing blow, or if the enemy dies soon after being hit, it will then spawn a sentinel. Now with the phantasmal version, you can get more of the normal sentinels, otherwise the cap is 9. The higher budget version will be going up to 15 with this build with a 30% quality Ashes of the Stars. It can also summon 3 magical sentinels and 1 rare, unless you have the helmet enchant, which allows you to summon an additional rare. The evolved version allows you to summon up to 3 of those highest rarity sentinels that you have to become big ones. And the cool thing with this is that if you summon all 3 at the same time, and then wait till you get the soul gain prevention going away and you fill the souls up again, the duration of the minions is 64 seconds, but you only are prevented from getting souls for 34 seconds. So you can then get 3 more charges and then use all 3 again to refresh the duration of the ones that you have to fully sustain some absolutely insane rares. It's a really cool clearing build. I've had a lot of fun playing this build, and I just wanted to showcase some of the gear pieces. I've been showing this on stream for quite some time now already. We are using a Beast Needle Gemini Claw. The way you craft this is very simple. You have a fractured attack speed Gemini Claw because they give you mana on hit. And then once you've done that, you will spam Essence of Fear till you get a perfect mini damage roll on them, which is 94%. And then you will just make sure that you open up whatever suffix is open, and the other prefixes doesn't matter. Then you'll do a prefix can't be changed, Veiled Chaos Orb, and make sure that there are 2 open, so 1 open suffix plus the veiled one, bench block unveiled for the minion attack cast speed, and then bench craft the trigger. It's really that simple. It does cost a couple of divines to get this going, but this is the high-end version of this weapon. We're using a Surrender generic helmet. This is the tricky part actually, because we'll be crafting this one with things like the essence of the reservation, zeal or loathing I think it is. And once you have that with +1 level of minion skills, you want to fill up the entire item. Maybe there's a benchcraft and 5 other explicit modifiers, doesn't matter. Once you filled it up, you will then fix the implicit modifiers, and once that is done, you will go to your bestiary and do what's called a Krashik Vassal Corruption. This makes the item have 30% quality, but become corrupted, which allows you to use Tainted Teardrops to increase the tier of that modifier from +1 to +2 level of minion skills. Now, this will not lower the essence modifier, and it will not touch your implicit modifiers, but it will randomly upgrade or downgrade any of the other mods, and it cannot remove a modifier. So this is how we craft the +2 as reliably as possible. Chest piece is a bit nasty on the higher budget. You can use something like Skin of the Loyal, Skin of the Lords, double corrupted Tabula Rasa. But late game, you're going to want the Sacrificial Guard, which gives plus level of vault skills, but you want to craft this with level of socket skills and level of strength skills, which is from the faceted fossil crafting. And then you'll be making sure that you get another influence modifier if you want to go for the higher budget version, which is elevating that active skill gem. And then you have to make sure that you use Divine Orbs on it to get 10% quality, because of the Phantasmal Dominating Blow gets 1 additional Sentinel per 10% quality. So you need to make sure that if each 10% is actually met. Boots are just generic. Gauntlet is just generic. Maim on hit, minion damage, attack speed. Gloves, I do believe I bought a pair of fractured ones. I did buy that. Crafted them with Essence of Fear, fixed the implicits. It's very simple, straightforward. Boots, same thing there, just Elder Boots with plus level of Spectre gems to get that level of Spectres up to have more utility Spectres. Ash of the Stars, generic Unset Ring, generic Stat Ring, preferably with some elemental resistances. Darkness Enthroned, of course, and then just make sure that every jewel you have attack speed, because of how important that is. Quickening Covenant and a large cluster jewel with a 35% effect, together with 3% attack cast speed, life, and vicious bites. That's literally the whole shenanigans. We have a block jewel with a second skin. That's literally all the gearing for this character. Killing all the bandits, yada yada, Ball of Faith, you know the drill. So the build is really, really fun to play. I have been able to kill a couple of the Uber bosses, but I will still say that this build is not supposed to be able to do that. So do not play this build with the anticipation or expectation that you're supposed to be killing Ubers with this build because it's not designed for it. It is they're instead designed to be strictly for the sake of clearing. And with that said, it's rather important that you keep in mind that you can do endgame bosses very, very easily with this, just not the Ubers. So I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay footage with this build, as I've been having a lot of fun playing this. I am currently running a Divine Shrine Altar farm strategy, which essentially means that I'll be running maps and I will be popping every altar that I can, and I'm basically not going to be able to die until I've smacked up a ton of these, altars. Once I have a ton of the altars, then I am very, very much at risk of actually dying. So I'm doing this in Cemetery. The strategy normally revolves around not killing, not doing a map like this, but rather doing a map that doesn't show me the boss spawn on the altars until I spawn the boss. That's not what I'm doing here. Instead, I'm actually boss rushing and then we're clearing the map. So as you can see here, we have one rare and one magical sentinel right now, which is why we're not using this. We're gonna backtrack, and now we're gonna start getting some of these rare guys. So now I have 3 magical ones. I have 1 rare still. And what I'll do is I'm waiting for me to collect the second rare. Now I'm gonna pop my Vol version, and as you can see now we have 2 rare Vol big boys. Now, if one of these has Soul Eater, you can sustain that, which is absolutely hilarious and one of the best parts about playing this build. We are using an explodey version of the Enemy Guardian, and what that means is that the Enemy Guardian is wearing Gravebind gloves, and that makes the kills that are nearby him with increased area effect to him be counted as his kills, and then he's using a Crusader influenced chess piece with an exploding modifier, which allows the enemies to literally explode when they're killed. And that's how we create or help the clearing of this character. And that's basically it. I'll show you the skills here in a moment as well. The build is very, very straightforward. It's very simple. It's very enjoyable. And that's basically it. There's literally not much to say. It's such a basic and generic build. Always been a high performer. So as you can see here, I have my Vol Souls being collected again. A little bit slow, so maybe we're not sustaining it. Probably not, because I'm too slow. Oh, the map's done. Otherwise, I could have now refreshed my big boys without them disappearing. And that's basically how it's played. Pretty straightforward. Skill gem wise, we are using, let's see if I can bring the PUB up. So skill wise, we are using the Vol Domination, and this is used with the Phantasmal version in the high budget. We're using an Awakened Multi-Strike. You could use something like Divergent Multi-Strike to keep the cost down. We're having a Divergent Predator for a single target. We have Awakened Brutality, Awakened Mini Damage, and Awakened Melee Physical. And then we have some gem swaps for the sake of clearing. Now, the Multi-Strike and the Predator goes away and are changed for Behead and Melee Splash. So this, yes, indeed, it does require you to have a white socket on your chest piece. Do keep that in mind. Trigger weapon, we're going to be using a Desecrate, Bone Offering, and Punishment. The vulnerability curse is coming from the Enemy Guardian by him wearing a pair of cursed implicit Gravebind gloves, and he's using Windscreen boots to allow him to do that additional curse. We have our Zombies and Kieran Golems with Feeding Frenzy. We have Determination, Evolve Haste, which we're not showing in PUB, of course, and then Pride with level 3 Enlighten. Enemy Guardian, Mini Life, Ray Spectre, and increased area of effect for that Enemy Guardian explosion. Whirling Blades, Ancestor Protector, Convocation, and Flame Dash. The Ancestor Protector is only for clearing, for single targets, so that we can add this totem down to have an insane amount of attack speed. And then we're running a Tempest Shield in our Unset Ring. That's literally covering the entirety of this absolutely cracked up, crazy build. I don't know why. I just find this build absolutely super enjoyable to play. It's always been a high-end performer when it comes to league starting, because it doesn't require anything. If you check out the links in the descriptions below, there will be a link to a video of me leveling between Act and Act 10 using Dominating Blow in a Soul Self-Found environment. So it's like a play with me, where you can literally just play along with me doing that all the way through the campaign and see how easy it is. It is faster to go with something like leveling with Absolution because of how meta that is. However, if you're like me, who prefers to level with the ability I'm supposed to use for the end game, then Absolution is a great addition for that end. And that's basically That's basically the guide, if you will. Not sure if I want to call this a guide, but more of a showcase, if you will, of the higher buddy version of this character. It's very enjoyable to play, and I've been having so much fun with it. We're level 97 now, and getting one of those soul eaters is... Whew, it's just so much fun to see how insane that can get. Absolutely love it. But yeah, if you decide to play this build, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe, keep rocking.